Carl here from Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's album review time. The 2nd of August 2024 will see the return of Barbarian Hermit, Manchester's leading purveyors of groove-laden stoner doom metal. Released on APF Records, Mean Sugar may just be the heaviest ever tribute to Northern life indeed. And it has been an interesting few years for Barbarian Hermit, having made one hell of a splash with their 2018 debut album Solitude and Savagery, playing countless tours and appearing at many festivals, getting through the pandemic period and reuniting with original vocalist Simon Scarlett, who helped craft the band's debut One EP, originally released in 2016 and reissued on APF Records in 2021. Written over a 3-year period, it's no surprise that Mean Sugar is the sound of a band dealing with feelings of anger and frustration, but it's also the sound of a band revitalised. When it all seemed to get too much, Barbarian Hermit wrote loud music, and the result of that can now be experienced to its fullest with this new album. Mean Sugar! An album that showcases the band pouring every inch of themselves into it, bringing forth thick, doomy groove and stoner intensity in an infectious way. It is both the Barbarian Hermit of old and the Barbarian Hermit of now, looking forward while also reminding listeners just why they're considered such a powerhouse of metal. Something they announce with aplomb on the opening riff demon that is the title track, utilising a leisurely tempo to deliver gargantuan instrumental heaviness and gruff vocals. It's a punishing start, but sets up the right frame of mind for what follows, which just so happens to be even more thick, body shaking and head banging groove with battle of compromats. This one chugs along with a meanness until around the halfway point where the vibe shifts to something more laid back, evident by the vocal change up. No complaints though, as it sounds great, and when the heaviness comes back, it slays. Early on, it is abundantly clear that this is an album all about killer tracks with absolutely no filler, to the point where even a short ambient and trippy piece like Outcome the Boasts has massive impact, especially as it flows nicely into the chunky and chuggy lovable nastiness of Who Put 50p in You. The uptick in energy right at the end is wild and so much fun, a likely long-term favourite of the listener base going forward. Although that could also apply to the insanely catchy Stitched Up, which is not always something you expect to hear from Barbarian Hermit. But there you go, they've nailed it here. The latter half of the album continues to delight too, as a track like Deadbolt keeps things so very invently heavy and groovy. Kick Up the Dust, which has unexpected haunting atmosphere and melody at the start, signalling Barbarian Hermit's most challenging track so far. Challenging because it's certainly more progressive, more experimental, and the most uniquely structured track of all. If you thought though that was the apex of the album, you are sorely mistaken, as along comes the penultimate track, Stranger Than Fiction, and the finale of Heal the Tyrant to put the emphatic stamp of brilliance on this record. Both tracks showcase the best of a modern Barbarian Hermit and prove that any attempt to count this band out is utterly futile. They've had some banger releases previously, the debut album Solitude and Savagery, and of course the One EP. But Mean Sugar is on another level completely. This is a phenomenal release. This is the best thing they've done to date. And I think it's one of the best albums of the year. It's exciting, it's interesting, it's groovy, it's fun. It's Barbarian Hermit as they were, as they are now, and as they clearly will be in the future, which is looking incredibly bright based off this album. It is out on the 2nd of August 2024 via APF Records. It's Mean Sugar, and I want you to check it out and let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at GBHBL. Just search for GBHBL and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.